Hello, this is Kyence. I've been working on the Phantasy Star Generation 1 translation into English for the PS2. Pretty much, I'm just showing you what I've done so far in regards to the translation. So right now we're on the continue screen, and I'm showing you that I've managed to translate all the save and load states. So right now, I'm starting in the capital city, and pretty much I'm just going to be walking around, and I'm going to open up the main menu for you in a couple of moments. As you can see, I translated the menu so it's much nicer. I also translated the stats. They were actually image labels that I had to edit directly in the map. Here is normal item and special item, translated labels, and as you can see, all the inventory has been translated, as well as the descriptions. Also, the little toggle that says on and off was actually taken from the battle system map, and I managed to copy it and bring it over here. Here is the special item list along with the description. Now is opening the magic dialogue, where you could see what she's learned that could be used outside of battle. Say is the consult function. Say was just easier to fit, and the letters were available from the rest of the labels. The system menu has been completely translated. So all in all, that part is pretty much completed. As far as I know, I'm done with any image alterations. All that needs to be left is event translations. So as you can see here, that what they decided to do in the original Japanese version of the game was that the four main characters had images that would show their expressions, but they would only call on them in the save function. They wouldn't call it during the rest of the game. Whereas you can see here, Suelo, her name is pretty much always on the first column, as is most, NPC characters in the game. Whereas I thought that that was kind of silly that you would use this and we would waste valuable letters that I would need for English. So what I decided to do here was just simply replace the mentions of the main characters' names with an appropriate expression picture. And here's a good example of one character mentioning about caves. And in the original Japanese, he kind of mentions that he doesn't think she should be traveling in them alone. So I added her little extra dialogue where she asks him, hey, you want to travel with me? He goes, no. And then I added her with the cranky face. This actually only requires about 4 bytes of code versus her full name in English, which would take about, I think 8. So here, as you can see, I answered a yes or no dialogue, and where the character that she's speaking to is explaining the various planets in the game. Then once you do that, he adds, additional information for you. So I added a little thing here, whereas, he offers his condolences and stuff. He mentions, you have to save Algol, and she's like, me? Really? I added that little part in. Kind of make it a little more into the game. So pretty much, this is pretty much what's left of Camtasia for now. I'm not going to talk to everybody. She does talk to the guards in this little video I'm showing you, just to show that they were kind of portrayed as human in the Japanese. So I might have added a little more to that, but nothing too much. Just, there was always an inkling that some of them were, really, zealous about it, and some were kind of just doing it just because they didn't want Lassic to kick them out or hurt their families and stuff. So right now she's leaving that city. She's going over to Paralit, which is right next to it. And, just going to talk to some more guards. So as you can see, pretty much every character in the game, the first row is either their name or a description of their occupation. So also, there are no apostrophes in the game, so I had to use the little dot. So sometimes, that might be kind of annoying with contractions and such, but I generally cut down on them for the most part, unless certain characters might use it more in their speech. So here she's entering a weapon shop, just showing you how it's all been translated, and pretty much any Japanese letters have been removed. I removed them all myself, and if I could edit or replace them with English, I did. So here she's going into an item shop. So what's interesting about this game is that each inventory place, thrift shop, market, weapon store, they all have pretty much their own custom welcome and goodbyes, even in the hospitals too. So that's kind of fun. Here she's talking to her character Emily that does say something along the lines of, "Who's Odin? Never heard of him. Is he cute?" So I pretty much just added the image of her response. So right now, taking Alice for a walk. She's heading down south because I want to show that she can't enter Epi Forest yet, and she does say something along those lines. But look, she encounters a Parapi. Yeah, they've changed a bit in their look from the original appearance in Phantasy Star 3. But as you can see here, you can select descriptions of the magic and of items as well. Collabo is pretty much this game's version of a macro, but you have to buy special gems and such in the weapon shop in Kamini. And then you can get all these weird combinations. I also had to rename all that stuff as well when I was translating one of the files in the game. So as you can see, the result screen has been completely translated. And the battle map actually had her name and pretty much each main character's name in the upper left corner. And I pretty much deleted it because there weren't enough letters to make all the names, and there were so many other indicators of what they were doing, it seemed kind of pointless. We all played role-playing games, you know, we're all knowing what we're doing. As you can see here, when you quickly look at the characters, the enemies, it's a very stylized looking label because it was written with the katakana in the game. They did not have English. So, pretty much that's what I decided to go with. And now I hope that you enjoy what I've shown so far, and I'm looking forward to pretty much translating the rest of the game. Thank you, and keep giving me any feedback, and pretty much the more people that I hear about it, it's a good motivator for days where, I really just don't want to be encoding anymore. So once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and feel free to spread the word. Ta-ta!